So we have created a core connector worker, and then we have enabled all the attributes that we want, and we have selected a lot of field attributes that we require to be included in the output file. We enabled all of these fields. So the next thing would be the output, right? How do you get this output? So if you look at your integration events, the last one that we ran created an XML file. So this is the XML file with the workers information in there, right? But what if we need a CSV file instead of an XML file, right? So you take this XML and you do something called a transformation. It's called document transformation. So for that, you would create another integration system. Not like a EIB, Core Connector does not have an option for you to directly input an XSLT, so it comes out, the output comes as a transformed output, but it is in a different way. For Connector, you have to create one more template. It's called DT. We call it short term as DT. It's called document transformation. So the template name is document transformation. So this is the template we use to transform a XML into the file that you want. Click OK. And then, yeah, it does have an error. So it's probably some of the required for launch fields are blank. So every document attachment has something called integration attachment service. So this is a by default service that this document transformation template has. So here you have to attach an XSLT. It's just a regular XSLT, which automatically transforms. But this one will be an XSLT using ETV and XTT transformations. So those are particular transformations or some easy to use steps that Workday gave, so we can automatically transform something pretty simply. This is the DT. So let's create that DT first. Let's create that XSLT for you to transform it. So I'm going to take my output file XML. I'm going to just take my XST as well for my schema. I'm going to go back into my Oxygen, Control M. And I'm going to open, oh, sorry, I can create, right? I'm going to open my worker XML. And then I'm going to open my XSP. This is my schema. And I'm going to associate my schema. It is not needed to associate, just it gives your XML more validity in Oxygen. That's it. Okay. That is your XML. I can close my XSP now. I don't want this thing. So now I'm going to create an XSLT. So I'm going to go new XSLT. So first thing we have to check is make sure the namespace of your XML is same as your XSLT. So I'm going to copy my namespace. This is my namespace of my worker sync, which is my core connector worker output. I'm going to use the same namespace here. Okay, let us save it. Let's save it to class. So we have our namespace. So if we attach and run our XSLT to our XML with XSLT transformation. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay. So in this case, even though you want a CSV file, your XSLT output should be an XML, right? Your document transformation template, what it does is it automatically converts your XML into CSV using this XSLT that we developed, right? It's a little bit different. You might have first seen this. This probably is your EIB, right? It is just our employee ID. We just added uh, separators here and we are done. But this is a text file. The output method is text. But in document transformation, your output method should always be XML. That's always your output method. So once you have done that, I mean, you can also say spaces. So you remove all the spaces. Remove all the additional spaces, and you got all the information in a good shape. So the next thing we would do is more of a template initiation, like we did for any other XSLT. Template match, match. Then within the template, we will write our XSLT. Yeah. So when we're writing an XSLT to produce an XML, you're technically creating the XML document, right? So when you're writing an XSLT to create a text, you're creating a text, right? You're printing your employee ID, you're separating it with this, printing a height date, you're separating it with a pipe, right? Similarly, you create your XML. So my XML is file. So my file opens, and then I have a record. This does not have to be file or record. It just usually it's file and record. And then we need a separator. This is where we use the separators here. So we have your XTT. XTT is the transformation function that we use within the document transformation XSLT, XTT column. Separator equal to, and then you can get whatever the separator you want. In this case, my separator would be a comma. Okay. Now the error is basically saying XTT is not an attribute that, I mean, you don't have a namespace saying XTT, right? So that is why it is erroring out saying, I don't know what XTT means. You need a namespace for XTT. So these are all default. This is XTT. And you should have something for ETV. ETV is for validation. We'll see that. Then I'm going to do HTTP align. To the left. I want everything to be left aligned. So that's good. And then now I want to print my value, XML value. Select. What I'm going to print is from my XML, my employee ID. Let's print our employee ID, right? So what's the XPath for employee ID? Goes employee ID, summary, worker, and then worker sync, right? If you have multiple employees in your output file, you might want to do an Excel for each to loop each worker. So before going into record within the file, we will do a for each. And it would be WS worker sync. slash WS worker slash W, oh, sorry, just worker. So you have your worker thing slash worker. So we are looping through each worker. And then here, we're going into the record now. So record, what are we going to print? We're going to print the employee ID, which is also in summary. So I get the summary slash WS employee ID. I'm printing this. Okay, for printing that, we need to create the employee ID tag. So the tags that I'm creating are just defined by me. It doesn't have to be defined by anyone else. Right, so this is a simple XSLT which is going to give us XML for each employee record, employee ID, and then the next employee ID. Okay, so you're able to create an XML. So if you want to see this result, I'm going to open a new XML document just to show this result formatted. So this is the this is the result of your XSLT, right? So the result of your XSLT is also an XML, where you're saying the file with this namespace and all, and the record is, each record is separated by comma. That means each record, or you can say each row, is separated by comma, right? That's not right. Each row is separated by a line feed, right? Each row is separated by a line feed. So we need a line feed here, not comma. So something like enter. And each employee ID, each value or each column needs to be separated by a comma, right? So let's add one more field here before going in there. The field would be, what is the field? Let's try active status. Status, let's try status. Yeah. I'm going to print status. And let's the value select. WS status slash WS active. Right. So this should result. This created result like have your employee ID and status, right? But we're not separating any of these employee ID or status with anything, right? There is no separator in between. There is a separator for each row, but not for each. Let's try it out. Let's see. Let's save this. Let's upload this DT into the tenant, and let's see the result. How we. So we're going back to our document transformation. Going here, and we'll say configure integration attachment service, and go here, and click the create integration attachment service, and then select files, and then go back to your class, and then SL file, DT, simple it. Okay. Okay. So you have your DT configured now. But how do you connect core connector and DT? Both are two different integration templates, right? How do you connect both of them? So one thing to connect in Workday is using the business process. So you have a business process that you can connect, saying like once this integration event is complete, then you go for a different integration event. Right? So we're going to do the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to actions, create a business process for this integration, for the core connector this is. And then I would just say, okay. And over here, I will add a step called step C. And the type is set as integration. And click OK. Now your business process has step A as initiation, step B as file integration, step C as something that you can configure. You're configuring an integration system. Click it, you pick your integration INT 002A, and ta-da. Click OK, and then within means in order, your initiation should happen whenever you launch it, and then your core connector worker runs, which is your step B. And then your third step is to run this document transformation. Now, one of the things you have to make sure is how your both of these documents are linked. So there is this document tag, right? So this document tag is saying, because there are like 6 documents, right? This DT, whenever it's run, it can take any of the 6 documents as this input, but it should actually take only this XML. So this XML is set as deliverable tag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my DT, go to actions, configure integration attributes, have your input document tag. You can say deliverable. No tags are specified, then only the first deliverable document will be transformed. So it automatically transforms the deliverable document. But what if you want to create a new tag, like a different tag? If you have multiple deliverable documents from your core connector, I think you can create document tags from how do I create document tags? Okay, I think we can do it from the attributes. The output document tags. You can create an output document tag saying int002. Okay, and whenever this core connector is complete, it's going to complete with a document tag called int002. And then over here in the DT, you can also look for it as an input document. Cool, that's it. And then you click OK. And then you are now ready to run your core connector work. I'm going to simply just relaunch the old event, so we don't have much of any issues in the first run. So I'm going to relaunch the previous event. So these are the launch parameters. It is looking from 11 to 13 and effective date as of 13. Core connector is complete, and if you see, you should have your document tag attached to this input symbol. Okay. If you look at the parent event here, this parent event should automatically trigger your document transformation next. Right, so your document transformation is automatically triggered and it produced an error. So I don't expect any output file here. It produced an error. Let's open the document transformation event directly. You can directly view it on the parent event, or you can go to the events of the DT. Right, it says invalid attribute separator allowed at this row. I think we got a wrong character somewhere. Separator, I think, is spelling capital S. No, separator. Oh, separator. Wrong guy. Okay, let's see. A quick fix. It's not the operator. It's just so if you want to now go here and if you want to edit this, right, you can click on the little arrow here, which will take you to that page, or you can do edit, integration, service, attachment. Just a simple DT. And delete the old one, add the new one. I'm going to try and relaunch it now pretty quickly. So let's just see. The same thing going back to the parent event, which should show us the DT. It's now completed. And you have your default output file here, which is a text format. This is generated by your DT. This is generated by your DT. If you open your DT event, if you want, it is generated by your DT as an output file. Same thing. I download it. I'm gonna open it in Notepad++. I know it's not right, but I just want to see how it is. Now, so you have your employee ID, and it is separated by comma, and then you have your the employee ID and active status are being separated, but there is no line feed that is separating each of the record. That's probably what's making it not look right. And we also need to remove this tags here for the comma. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go correct it. So I don't need this, then that is fine. And then actually each employee record, the column that has to be separated by comma, which is what's happening here, right? Each column is being separated. Each column, but there is no line feed here. So I'm gonna put a line feed. I think we need to put line feed on the file. Let's see. XTT separator, same separator we're gonna use. Instead of comma, we're gonna use the line feed. Instead of comma, we are gonna use the line feed thing. What is line feed thing? Go back to Google. Line feed XSLT. This one should do. Go back. Instead of comma, I'm gonna put this. Control S. So this should solve it. So let's retry. So edit integration service attachment. Simple dt.xl string. I'm gonna relaunch the CCW. Why is it taking a lot of time now? Come on. Completed. Default file name. Okay. See, your output is as expected. You have your employee ID, you have your active status, and you have your line feed, and then your second employee ID. Right. So that is the difference between an EIB and a document transformation in the first place, right? So you have within an EIB a different XSLT where you just print your output as your text and then take it from there. Whereas in document transformation, you have your output printed as XML, and then you use that XML. I mean, your document transformation automatically takes that XML, takes the core connector XML, transforms it into XML, and generates a text file. Okay. So we did, but we have more things to do with document transformation. Let's go back 1 second.
Krishna, the output was text because of the file format when we selected core connector as text. That is why it generated text file, the output file.
No, the core connector output. So go back. Let me just refresh this event. So this is the core connector output. Core connector is XML. Core connector output did not change. You go to the parent event. You scroll down. See, once the core connector is completed, it triggers the document transformation, the DT INT002A. Triggers the document transformation, and then the document transformation's output is the text output.
So can we also generate CSV with the document transformation?
I mean, text, you just rename it to CSV. The CSV is comma separated, right? It's technically a text file, just the naming convention CSV. Configure integration sequence generator for your DT. Default. They should do. That should give you the same file, DT file.csv, should result in a CSV output. Any other questions, anyone, while it runs?
Yeah, Krishna, you created a business process to connect this integration system with the document transformation system, right?
Yes.
Okay,
so I created a business process definition.
Okay, so this business process automatically gets triggered after running the core connector integration system, right?
Yes. So once the core connector is triggered, that's the initiation, and core connector once you initiate the core connector worker, it triggers the core connector first. It fires off that core connector worker integration. Okay. Once that is complete, it goes into the third step here, which is the document transformation. So let's say, for example, if you want to generate multiple files from a core connector worker, you go ahead and you add multiple document transformations, right? If everybody takes the input as you add step D, and you add integration again. This also can take your input from the core connector and generates a separate file. Maybe if you want to generate two files from core connector worker, one is active employees and one is inactive employees, you can use two different document transformations. Just put a filter if condition in your document transformation. In this XSLT, you can put an if. For each, you can put an if, and then only get the active employees. Or, I mean, from a business process, you can actually trigger anything. Instead of document transformation, you can trigger another studio if you want. In one of my clients, we trigger like 19 integrations in one PP, because all of those integrations should run as of the same time, but we don't want to schedule everything at one time, so we ordered them like one after the other. Each one will complete. So everything is triggered by an umbrella integration, which is just a shell integration. It's just a blank integration, does nothing. It's a EIB blank, and it triggers the rest of the integrations from the business process, like one by one. So someone asked me the question, how do you get a CSV? So this event generates a dt.csv, then it opens up as a CSV if you want.
Krishna, this business process is not accessible outside the integration system, right?
I mean, what do you mean by accessible?
Like
I think you can view it.
okay.
If I do BP INT 002, I never tried, but I think we can see it. But the business process's job is to run whenever this integration is triggered. Otherwise, it will not run. Right? So it's just how if you're running it or not. That's it. The only way to run this business process is to run the core connector work.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one more example for you guys to see, more of a complex one. So let's try to use this. And then use this as an example and then get it there. Oh, I'm writing update on the file. Yeah, file. Yeah, right. This should be. Fine. So you can write a lot of XTT and ETB functions here. If you see, in this case, we have an XTT separator as comma for the employee for the record. That is fine. And then you have your XTT code that has CSV. That means you will get codes whenever if your field, let's say your job title has a comma in there, right? It means it's going to mess your CSV up. So you probably need codes for that specific value, right? Let's see if we have anything like that in here. Let's say this guy's address line 1, ending with a comma. If I pull this address line 1, my CSV is going to mess up. So one thing I can do is, whenever I'm pulling his address, I can say XTT code. I can say CSV or I can say always. That will give my code for every record. So when I print this, XSL value is correct. WS, personal slash WS. Can you guys thought we lost connection? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Back to the attachment. Simply to simple DT. And then I'm going to just relaunch it. Relaunching is easy. That's it. Otherwise, just it's quickly. You don't have to worry about your parameters. You know what your output is when you relaunch, right? So Before while we are doing that, I'll go to community. I'm going to show you complete. It is also complete. So my CSV, if I open the notepad, should have all double. This saves your format, right? But right here, if you have community access, I would recommend you guys go through this document transformation connector. It is used to Workday has given us several special categories of attributes that we can use in order to create a document transformation connector pretty easily. Like for CSV, we can use quotes. CSV, if you want double quotes, right? Number formatting is there, truncation is there, everything, and also validations as well. Let's say let's try one. I don't think we can try with the code connector. Or let's see. That input. XML. I want to see if something that is available on the first employee is not available on the second, so I can. Come on, both the guys are hired. Both the guys have same information. Let's say total base pay should be greater than 0. Right. I want to do total base pay greater than 0. What I can do is I'm going to first print my total base pay. I have to write an if condition here. I say if XSL if WS compensation slash WS total base pay greater than will be ATT greater than 1. If total base pay is greater than 1, then I would print my base pay. Right, I would print XSL value. Select WS compensation slash WS total base pay. Let's say if total base pay is less than 1. Then again, I would print this, but instead I would write ETB, the syntax for required. ETB required true and severity is set to error. And I leave my total base pay as blank. So let's see. Let's see how it will react. I got an error saying no output value, no value output for the required field base pay. So what is happening here is, if you see your output files, you did not get information for the base pay. It came as blank, but you got a message saying that for one employee, you did not find the base pay. You can also list that employee if you were able to find the width for that worker. So let's see if my XML has that width. I don't think we have width for the worker, so I don't think we can do it here. What I can do, where's my employee ID? Name employee ID, it's a work ID. We need a width to reference an employee ID directly in a DT. You can also set the severity to, you can also leave a message. For example, severity is set to error, and you can also leave the message equal to please check employees. And you can also set it to warnings if you want to just show it as warnings. Go back. I think I need to do a capital warning for that. Let's try this one. Okay. So the use case over here is, let's say you got a requirement saying, your code generate me a file, but if I miss a social security number, I don't want that to record on my file, right? Or if I miss a social, if my base pay is different, I don't want that record on the file, right? In such cases, you might want to create, because EIB will not be able to do that, right? I mean, you remember EIB is just creating you the flat file, but it is not giving you any errors or warning that you control, right? Errors or warning that you want to be on the integration event. Right? But your document transformation, while transforming the document, it is also providing you the information that you need to correct if anything is missing on the file. Right. And also on community, you'll be able to find the list of functions. Example, required is set to true, and then SSN, they put error out There's a send record. Should be a page. Truncation attributes, right? So yeah, this entire thing, steps to document transformation. So you can see the entire thing here where they'll give examples, operator, comma, code is CSV, this is how you do it, or date and time attributes. If you want date and time format, you can directly do ETB date format, and you can give this format, and the resulted value would result in that specific format, and it changes the format. Fixed length, if you want to truncate, you say XCT fixed length equal to 10, then whatever is in the value will automatically truncate to the fixed length value. So you're creating a fixed width file. So you have all these sets of things here. Okay, questions, anyone? We'll discuss custom objects next. Yeah, you have this warning. You're saying you have a message that you have printed, and it is completed by warning, not error.
Krishna, I have a few questions, not one.
Somebody. Yeah, go ahead.
Or it doesn't matter, right? You can put the document transformation on a EIB and document transformation, whatever that is. Document transformation can be done on an output of an EIB, right?
Yes. So when you go back to integration, so if you observe, we did document transformation from the business process, where EIB right now does not have a business process, but you can create one if you want. And you set this transformation as empty. You create a business process transformation, and you do it. I mean, so you create a business process definition, and you can add your DT there. Also, what you can do is, when you create your document transformation, where is this .dt? Yeah, within the DT itself, you can also do one thing. You can create a business process for the document transformation itself, and not for the core connector. This is for the document transformation directly. And then go here, add a step B, and then mark the document transformation as step C, and then your step B would be a report. You specify bash the reports. Bash the report or whatever, and then come on, what do you want? Field group is required and must have a value. Okay, what is the field? Who owns this report or something like that? I would say, or go with integration admin. Where is it asking for the group? I think there is some security. Usually it will not ask for a group. But anyways, and if it asks, you can give the ISFC. Something is wrong. Run configure report step. So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna do configure report, because our report has some launch parameters. It is asking for us to configure those launch parameters. And then this would work similar to how you have worked your core connector with DT, right? Here, your DT itself is the integration, and your data source is coming from a report. Then this is your DT, right?
And always documentation DT works with the other XSL, not the regular XSL, right? It always has to be ATT, ETV, whatever. That.
It always has to be that XCT and ETV. Otherwise, it would just generate an XML. And because I think what's happening on the back end is whatever you generate here, like the result, right? The end result that we have seen, This is probably what
XML.
DT is getting to it before generating the CSV. Right? You're creating an XML for it using an XML.
Correct.
So from an XML using XML, you're creating an XML, and it is automatically deriving the text file from the XML.
See, the output of the DT transformation is the XML file, and from XML, how is it converting it to comma separated? This is generating an
Based
XML,
on your,
isn't it?
Not really. So let's go back to our event. Let's see what are all the files. So you have your integration event. So you have your DT. This is the DT. It generated 2 files. So the input for your document transformation is coming from the core connector workflow. The XML out of
And
core
that
connector
is XML.
And
that
then
is XML, right?
Yes, that is XML.
Okay.
And then your XSLT is also creating an XML, right? Technically, because you're saying output type is XML.
Correct.
Output type is XML. Your XSLT is automatically creating an XML for you. But what's happening on the DT is final output of the DT is coming as text. I think what's happening is on the back end, it does create an XML first, and then based on these separators and everything, because the end result also will have these two, it translates that XML into a CSV. Let's see if this message audit has anything to do with that. Yeah, transformed document with ETV. Yeah, this is the transform document with ETV, transform document with XML. Yeah, these are just audits. Probably we don't see these are the transform documents on the audit file, but we only see our output file directly on the EIB, which is the text. But we don't specify anything like that. The way we configure these attributes derive what type of file it is. Whether if we put a separator as pipe, it will come as pipe.
And we could also, on the EIB itself, we could have gone for a comma separated file as a delimiter and did all of it. But as you said, we can't do much validation because it will just throw out all the fields that you are having on the report.
Yeah, EIB would just give you whatever your exercise is to give, but it did not throw any validation or anything like that.
So the DT in the end is playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a core connector and you need to use some transformation, your DT is the only option, or you have to go into Studio. That's the different option.
Yeah, because core connector always gives you a fixed formatted XML, right? Predefined based on what fields you choose on the services, it will give you the XML.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So DT is on the work environment. DT is primarily used. Definitely, it will be used on top of core connectors as needed, primarily, and also it can be used on EIBs or outputs. Right? Is that fair? Is that fair understanding?
Yep. That's the true. Yep, that's the right statement. So for core connector, if a transformation is needed, you will use DT for sure. Most of the core connectors will end up with the DT. EIB is usually, if you're doing an EIB, I don't see any developer creating an EIB and then doing a business process definition and then attaching a DT. I would usually see people doing it this way if they just want to do some report transformation, right? I would usually see people doing it this way, directly attaching a report to the DT's business process as an input and then fire the synthesis, fire the DT.
EIB has inbuilt data transformation or document transformation step, right? We first get the data, then transform, then deliver.
EIB has, yes, EIB has inbuilt custom transformation step, yes.
So just using XSLT, we can convert any, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that you can do pretty simply. EIB, you can pretty much do without anything. You can use the custom report transformation, and you can just transform it into a flat file as you want. Instead of using an XSLT, you don't have to use an XSLT on an EIB to transform.
You can use XSLT, but it won't come with this extras of data transformation, ETB and ATT. Like the custom report, custom transformation, that is an XSLT, right? The example we did.
Yes, custom transformation.
Yeah, that one is a regular XSLT here at this point.
I think XTDT and that ETB is just an extension to XSLT. That gives us additional capability to manipulate our data into using XSLT.
Manipulate and validate your data. Or
Yes.
Transform and validate your data.
Yeah, XTDT has like additional functions, and I mean it has some library of functions which you can directly use instead of, I mean, using a simple XSLT also you can do that, but it will the file will be very lengthy and difficult to manage. If you use XTDT to manipulate or add some more functionality, you can use XTDT, and if you want to validate it, you can use ETB. If I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense. Krishna, I haven't tried anything with Core Connector because I didn't follow much of payroll thing yet that you mentioned yesterday. I'll try to play with something in the finance, and maybe if I have any questions, I'll put it across.
Sure. Yeah, you guys will have a lot of time to do that because I'm actually traveling from tomorrow. I have some travel planned. So probably not available on the weekend. I don't want to do something while I'm not in the right place. So at least you guys have time to catch up on EIB, connectors, Peacock, and DT and everything in this 4 days. And Monday we can start with Studio. And then 1 more week from there.
Krishna, we can include header in this DT transformation in the XSLT.
Yep, we can. Yep, we can. Different ways to do it. I can just create a template. I mean, within the template, I can before the file, I can do a header, and then I can give the same tags. You can do it this way. Employee, this should generate an employee ID, and then, I mean, you're looking for a separator anyway, so this is the separator. Sorry, Control-C, header, separator. Okay, I'm just gonna do 2 and let's try. This should give you the header record.
And can you also upload this XML and what we did in the session, Krishna, for the reference?
Yeah, it is already in the class. I'm gonna attach one more. This is one of my earlier things. So I'm gonna attach this as well. This will give you more information, more functions that you can look at, padding, everything. Okay. Oh, we forgot to include line feed. Did we even put it in the file? Should be in the file. Oh no. Yes, they should be inside the file. Right here. Right here. Anyways, because that's your file, the template is different. I don't think this will resolve it. Yeah, that should be inside the file. But let's try again.
And Krishna, I know you mentioned EIBs and all this is part of functional, but I don't think this piece is functional. Is that correct? This is
No.
has to be technical, right?
Yeah, this is all technical. EIB is also technical until a point. I mean, EIB is also technical from Excel. I mean, EIB is somewhat simpler, right? Simpler in the sense some business user, if they have knowledge on reports, they can do a custom report transformation while configuring the CSV and doc and fixed length steps, and they can do it. But
Correct.
XSLT, and again, comes to technical part, and from there, this is all fully core technical.
It has to be technical. Yeah, XSLT and out. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, Studio will be fun.
I think you're going at 2x speed. Usually, oh, go ahead.
Oh, is it? Yeah, is it 2x speed?
Yeah, usually I'll watch videos on 2x, but I think I should be watching you at half x.
That's what people say. But it's a lot, right?
Yeah, you are going 2x,
Studio
definitely.
Like
yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you can slow down a little bit, it might help me, definitely. I don't know about others, but.
Yeah. Yep. I will slow down for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, we'll try to catch up on this
Studio will
one.
take it as slow as possible.
What? Studio will take
Studio
what?
will take it as slow as possible.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take. So what usually happens is in my classes, everybody will ask questions, everything until this part. When it comes to Studio, I don't even hear anything. Everybody's like, I don't know even people are listening or not. Sometimes people take a lot of time to catch up with Studio, I know, but they don't ask a lot of questions. And I don't get a feedback after that. I don't know whether I did a good job or bad. I don't know.
You will hear from us, definitely.
Hopefully you guys. Yeah, you guys are asking good. So. Well, we definitely missed something here. What did we miss? File template header, print this header, separate the summer. What just happened? Why did we miss something? How did we miss something? Header is pretty simple. Yeah. Before the record row itself, yes. We got the header, we got the separator, employee ID. What happened? Or did I not even delete it? Sorry, I'm talking and doing stuff. So. I mean, I can't give you like every function and everything because that will take like a lot of time, even for XSLT and all. It will take forever because I don't even know half of them. It's just when you come across the requirement, right? That is when you really should identify what you want. But you should know what it is capable of, right? Like TT is capable of using XSLT. Then when you're using XSLT, you have a lot of things that you can achieve. Like any any style of logic that you can come up with in an Excel. You can do anything, right? So it just gives you that keep that open, and then if a requirement comes and says, okay, I need to truncate this, or I need to truncate, concat, and do multiple things with the field, you can do it in an Excel. You just have to search for the right thing. I mean, I don't remember my line feed ever. It's just I use it. I probably used it like 1,000 times already, but I don't remember these 5 characters. Always I go to Google and look for them. So it's not really necessary for you to remember everything. It's just, if I do this, can I do something with this? Come on, my header. Yes. Yes. Yeah, last 2 times we did not even upload it, so that's on me. Okay. Any other questions? So we are already at 8 today.
Krishna,
Yes, sir.
the next class is on Studio.
Yeah, next class, before starting Studio, I have a couple of small concepts. Did we talk about integration security?
No, we did not.
Anybody remember? Did we ever talk about?
No, we did not.
I would
We
go
did
with.
not.
We did not, right? So I'd go with security, custom fields, and all those steps first, and then we'll go. Probably by the end of next class on Monday, I would show you. I would give you the installation and everything, and you guys can try and install. I think we already have the installation manual on the class recordings. No, not yet. Okay, let me go grab it. Studio installation. I'm gonna put it in our folder.
So to download this studio, we need to have access to Workday community, Krishna?
Nope, not needed. Not needed. I think it's in my cloud. I'll download it, and I'll actually put it in this folder so you guys can access it. Do you have other files that I can? Okay, no man, I'll upload it with the video. But okay, it's opening. One second, download. Come on, faster. I want to show you guys so you have time today to install. So Studio installation takes multiple steps. I mean, first you download the JDK. JDK 1.8 is the latest one. Whatever the JDK package you found on Oracle Java, just install that and then download. For the latest Studio, you don't need step 2. Step 2 is not needed. So if you want to download Workday Studio based on your laptop compatibility and all, just click Control and just click on a link, and it's automatically take you to the website and download the file. I can do it. I mean, in order for you to get to this link, yes, you need access, but not just clicking on this link. Just clicking on this link is easy. So this is your first step, Java JDK or get the Open JDK. So I'm going to replace this things with step 1 and step 2 are gone. Step 1, step 2. Okay. And then you don't, I don't think you need any of the rest of the steps to do. Or it's executable if I ask. If you have some Open JDK or something, you need to do this thing. But otherwise, Java 1.8 should automatically look pretty good. Okay. Just try to install it. You'll have errors. You might, if you have any errors, we can discuss on Monday, and we'll finish the other remaining topics. There are some simple topics out there that we can close them, and then we'll get to studio.
Do you think we'll be done next week, Krishna?
Studio will take like 5 or 6 sessions, so and I'll try to take it as soon as possible. So yeah, probably by end of next week. Not end of next week, so we'll have a couple of sessions on coming Monday. So this week is gone. Next week, probably by 28th or so, we'll finish it up.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank
You guys have a wonderful
Thank you.
rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Krishna.